So I have come to the conclusion that a temperature blanket, making a temperature blanket, is like being a boat owner. The two greatest days in a boat owner's life is the day they buy it and the day they sell it. So the temperature blanket is the day you start it and the day you finish it. Super exciting in the beginning, and I can only imagine the anticipation that I'm gonna feel when I get to the end. Just throwing that out there. So it has been probably 2 months since I've done an update. And that is because we had a few things happen. We had our air condition break. Everybody knows that. It was extremely hot. And we ran into issues with getting it repaired, like the time it takes for them to show up to begin with, the time it takes them to order a part, then they get the wrong part, then they have to order another part, then they get it up and running, then it breaks again because it's another issue. It was just unbelievable. And then we had a hurricane that thankfully did not hit my area, but we had to prepare for that. And then we had the tree branch fall and take out the power to the house. It's just been one thing after another. So I finally had the opportunity to get some work done on this blanket. And I'm not completely 100% caught up, but I am caught up through the end of August, which is when all of this started to transpire. First of all, I just want to say that, like, Jenna and I were talking about this yesterday because I did a marathon session yesterday to get both sides caught up to the same date. And for my first temperature blanket, I picked like the traditional colors, going from like the blues into the greens, the yellows, the reds, from the cold to warm. And if I ever do it again, and that's a big 2-letter word, if, I want to go a different route. I mean, I wanted to do a different route to begin with because I wanted like an ombre type color, but I couldn't find like the same line where the yarn would be similar in size that had the amount of colors I needed. Because not only did I make it difficult for myself like that, but I did 5-degree increments because I was worried that like from May to November, it would be one solid color. Then I also had to do the birth year comparison to current year. So I made my first one very hard on myself. If I ever do a second one, I might go with granny squares, like 1 square a week. And because I like to make granny squares. I don't necessarily like putting them all together, but I do like making granny squares. So I don't know, that is gonna be a big if. So anyways, I think we left off at the beginning of August. So we're just gonna do August. We started the month at 90 degrees and we ended the month for the birth year at 90 degrees. And we pretty much stayed, see, the high in the birth year was 92 and the low in the birth year was 86. So the colors for that stayed pretty steady. So we used 2 colors for the whole month of August in my birth year. And that was cognac and rust, which, it doesn't look too awful bad. So in the dark brown, of course, is my divider rose. So I'm ready to start September. And this is where August started. July, we had a little cognac and egg yolk in there. But for the most part, the last 1, 2, 3, about the last 4 months, it's been the same colors. So you could see my concern with, I would have several months where it would all be one color, which wouldn't necessarily be so bad because then you wouldn't have this mess to deal with. which in the beginning, I started off weaving them in as I went, and then that went by the wayside quickly. Mr. Toby, are you coming up here to join us? Are you going to say hello to everybody? I'm sure they would all love to see how big you're getting. Come here. Don't bite me. Say hi. Look how big I'm getting. Yeah, say hello to everybody. Okay, that's your Toby fix. Now for current year, oh, with the AC broken, boy, did we outdo the temperatures of my birth year. Okay, I just needed to get that off my neck. So, for my birth year, we started off the month at 93 degrees, and we ended the month at 93 degrees, with the low temperature of one day being 88, and the high temperature of 2 days being 100. The majority of the month was 99 degrees every day during the time that my AC was kaput. So this one is way different from the birth year. I mean, wait till you see the side by side. So the month began here. So we had a couple of days of rust. Then we went into the deep red. These purple, the 2 purple rows are the 2 days that we hit 100. And then we went back into rust and cognac for the last couple of days of August. And then, of course, my month divider. So I have to go back through my emails, and because I think I had 2 people send me pictures to share. And I love doing the sharing, but it's been so long. It's been so long, I need to go back and take a look. So now's your chance to go grab a cup of coffee, because I'm going to put you on pause. And I'm going to go take a quick peek. And there was one that was really cool. It's like they did these little little squares that were like stuffed with the fiber fill. And it just looks really cool. So let me go find that picture. Okay, so I'm back. I hope you enjoyed your break. So I went back through September and August into the very end of July. So I may have shown you one of these already. So in July, Joyce sent a picture, and hers are granny squares, but she's doing Jada's polka dot squares. And I like how hers is coming out. It looks really, really nice. Then Amina, she's doing a knitted blanket, and she's in the UK. And it looks great. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Now, the one that I was saying that I thought was really interesting is from Lillian. She is in Texas, and they've had, now she sent me an email on August 12th. So I'm not sure how far up to date she was at that point, but she had already had 30 days over 100 degrees. Now hers, she's making little puff pockets, and her blanket is double-sided. One side is the high temperatures and the other side is the low temperatures, which is, I think, very unique to do it this way. She's using polyfill and making them little like puffy envelopes, pockets, whatever you want to call them. And she's separating the months with white. And then if you look, you'll see squares that have these little pink lines on them. Those are the days that were over 100 degrees. It's like crazy. But what a cool way to like show that how that's like hot. This is my highest color that I have, but we topped it. So now you have this little line in it to show that it was way out there. So thank you, ladies, for sharing. And if anybody else wants to share, and I know I am so far behind on this, and it's been a long time since I updated. But I do star the emails so that I can go back and find them. And now I'll be able to clear these out so that it's open for the next time. But if you want to share your temperature blanket with everybody, you just shoot me a picture, tell me a little bit about it. You know, if there's information you do not want me to give, that's fine, I won't. I'll just say, this is a Texas blanket or whatever. But just email me here. I'll pop it in somewhere. It'll be floating around the screen here. And you can send it over to me. So now we are going to take a look at the side by side. So the colors look weird in this lighting. I had to put a blanket down to be able to lay it down to try and show you this. So let me see if I can get close up. I think I'm gonna have to walk on it, and I don't want to. Okay. Don't mind my shadow. So that's what we just finished. That was August. July, just look between the brown lines. Don't mind all my ends hanging around. June. May. April. March. February. And January. So there's that. And I will mention one thing. I noticed my tension has changed, and my stitch count is right because I double checked that, but my tension has changed. So as much as I dislike blocking, this will definitely have to be blocked. All right, I'll see you. All right, you guys, I hope you're not too disappointed that I only made it to the end of August, but let me tell you, my fingers are tingling still. And so I have to take a day or two off from crocheting. Maybe. Maybe. It's, I got so much going on, it's hard to not do it. But as soon as I make it through the end of September on the blanket, then I will do another update. Hopefully, it won't take me as long as it took me to get through August. Because you know what? We're in October. And you know what that means? We're getting close to the end of the year. We are getting close to this blanket being finished. And quite honestly, I can't wait till it's done. So there's that. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next video.